Welcome to another video in a series about using Google Classroom with NVDA or JAWS. In this video, we will explore the Your Work page for a class. Although I'll be using NVDA to demonstrate, the commands are similar in JAWS with one exception, which I will explain when we get to that part. The Your Work page is a special page specific to a class. It shows all of the classwork which is either assigned, returned, or missing for that one class. There are two ways to get to the Your Work page. You can go to the main classroom dashboard page, navigate to the class you want, and then use the down arrow to navigate through the list of upcoming assignments and then to your work. Or if you are on the class's classwork tab, there's a link shortcut key, or you can use the links list to navigate to view your work. I'm on the classwork tab, so I'm going to use the links to get to view your work. I'll press K because I'm in NVDA, or Shift K to navigate the links, or in both NVDA and JAWS, I could open the links list with Insert plus F7.
Google Calendar link. View your work visited link.
Once I get to the View Your Work link, I'll press Enter to go to that page.
Your work in Class 1.
I heard the screen reader say Your Work in Class 1, so I know I am on the Your Work page for Class 1. This page is pretty limited for headings and links. It does have the same buttons as all pages with the main menu, Google Apps, Google Account, and then Help. When the Your Work page opens, use H for heading or Shift H in NVDA to go backwards until you hear your name and heading level 2. So I'm going to press H now.
No next heading.
I heard no next heading, so in NVDA I'll use Shift H.
Sally Student heading level 2.
And then I heard my student name, which is Sally Student, and heading level 2. So I am at the top of the Your Work page. On this page, you can either see all of your work or use 3 filters: assigned, returned, and missing. Assigned is for anything that either has no due date or the due date is in the future. Returned is for any work that you've previously turned in and that the teacher has returned to you. And missing is for any work that has not been done and the due date is in the past. To use any of the filters or return the page to an unfiltered state, you can navigate by landmark. In JAWS, you use R or Shift R, and in NVDA, you use D like David or Shift D. What you're listening for is to hear All tab. Since I'm using NVDA, I'm going to be using D or Shift D until I hear All tab.
Complementary landmark All tab selected.
And I'm on the All tab. Now the All tab comes first in the list of the 4 filters. There's All, then Assigned, then Returned, and then Missing. We use the down arrows once we get to All to go to any of those other filters. I'll press the down arrow now.
Tab assigned.
And again.
Tab returned.
And again.
Tab missing.
When you get to Missing, that is the last of the filters. I want to start by looking at all of the work that I have, so I'm going to use my up arrow to go back to the All tab.
Tab returned, tab assigned, tab selected all.
When I get to All, I'm going to press Enter. Once I press Enter, I'm going to tab to the first item on the list.
Main landmark expand 9-7 discussion prep. Boreal wetland basin button collapsed.
What I heard was expand, then the item title, and then collapsed, because the item is currently collapsed. If I had heard collapse, then the item title, and then expanded, it would tell me that the item is currently expanded. Expansion is how you get to the details about the item. And if you just want to navigate the list quickly, it's best to keep the items collapsed. Once we're in the list, we can use the button command. The keyboard shortcut is B for button, to quickly navigate the list to find what we're looking for. That will go just from item to item, and you won't hear all the details about each item. I'm going to press a B now.
Expand 9-7 reading assignment with question button collapsed.
And I heard the title for the next item on the list. Let's do one more B.
Expand 9-6 Celsius and Fahrenheit question button collapsed.
And just using B, or if you want to go backwards, a Shift B will take you through the items on the list. Once you get to an item that you'd like to hear a little bit more about, you can press Enter. I'll do that on the current item.
Expanded, collapse 9-6 Celsius and Fahrenheit question, expanded 9-6 Celsius and Fahrenheit question.
Once it's expanded, I can use my down arrow to hear some more information about the item. I'll press my down arrow now.
9-6 Celsius and Fahrenheit question.
I hear the title again. Another down arrow.
September 9th.
I hear the date that it was due. Hit down arrow again.
Missing.
It tells me that its current status is missing because September 9th was in the past. And then I'll press one more down arrow.
You haven't answered this question.
This work item happens to be a question, and it's telling me I have not answered the question. And one more down arrow.
Link view details.
Now that's the last down arrow for this item. An item always ends on viewing the details, and it's a link. If you want to go and look at the details page and work the item or just see what it's all about, since it's a link, you can just press Enter. We won't do that right now because in a future video we will look at the detail pages for all of these work items. So for now, let's see what happens if we push one more down arrow.
Button collapsed. Expand 9-7 writing assignment.
It takes us to the next item on the list. So you can go slowly through the list by using down arrow, or you can go more quickly through a collapsed list by pushing B for button. Instead of navigating item by item to find the work item you're looking for, if you know a unique word in its title, you can use the Find command to look for it. The shortcut key in JAWS is JAWS plus Control plus F for Find, or in NVDA, it's your NVDA key plus Control plus F for Find. So let me use that command now.
Find dialog. Type the text you wish to find. Edit blank. Find.
The Find dialog opens, and focus is on the text that we want to look for. So I'm going to type it in. I'm looking for an assignment that I know has to do with a poem called the ABC poem. So I'm going to type that in. And then I'll press Enter.
Button collapsed. ABC poem.
And the cursor will go directly to that item, and I can expand it and go to the details from there. So that's a little bit about using the Your Work page in one of your classes.